Hello everybody, and welcome to ReGen D&D Rewind. I am Jayzon, and today Ahsteele, aka Merrick, has come on with me. We're going to be playing some Diablo while we chat about our third session there. And still haven't found you in game. Oh wait, is that you? No, that's not you. It's been a long time since either of us have played Diablo, so you guys are going to have to excuse us a little bit for our noobishness.
Extreme noobishness.
Right. Well, and Diablo noobishness too. It's, I mean, I guess it's on normal mode, so it's probably not going to be that hard, but either way. What I usually like to do is I usually like to start by having our honored guest give us a recap. So how do you feel about giving us a recap from episode 3?
Episode 3 was interesting because we started at a higher level than we finished the last game at.
Yep.
But it was a lot of talking. Like I think it was, had I called the game off at the end of the evening, we would have gone to bed without any real interaction at that point. Like we would have had, we had interaction. We didn't fight anybody or do anything. So it was probably the most world building of all of the evenings, I would say. So yeah, we went through.
Declined the party invitation.
I'm not seeing anything. Do I need to start a game or how do I do this?
Are you in game?
No, not in any game at all. I'm just sitting at the.
Oh yeah. Create your character and hop into game, and then I think I can invite you to jump into the game with me.
So you have to start a game to leave the game.
Exactly.
This makes sense. This is why it's now a classic game. Okay, I'm in the game.
Yeah, definitely would have been a lot of talking and not a whole lot of fighting in the last session if we just went the standard 4 hours, which was fine. It was a fun episode that way. And now I can invite you into party. Nope, still decline the party invitation.
No, it says as invited. It said you invited me to a party.
Yeah, but then it automatically is just like Ahsteele declined party invitation. There might be something in maybe your settings that's making it do that. Did you maybe have invitations turned off?
No. We'll get this working. We'll get back to the chatting about the.
Right.
Why don't you jump out of your game and see if you can jump into this one.
All right. Maybe we both have to be outside and then be in a party together. Oh no, it says I can quick join.
It says that you're unable to join this game because the player is not eligible for the current game content.
Oh. What did I do?
Do you not have Reaper of Souls?
I do. Huh. Weird.
This is what happens when we don't try this before we start the stream.
I know, right? Okay.
So what is it that I have turned on? Are you sure you're not in the seasonal mode?
Yeah, I'm 100% in seasonal mode.
Yeah, I'm in seasonal mode too. I got a big season thing next to me.
Oh. Alright, so I'm going to start the game and then see if you can. There should be a quick join thing when I go in. It's in the bottom right corner when you're just in the regular menu.
Like at the home screen, when you're not in the game?
Yeah. That's where it was for me. Yeah. Something is not working here. Maybe if we create new characters?
Well, I just created this character literally 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, me too. What difficulty? I don't think the difficulty matters, but what difficulty were you playing on?
I didn't send it to anything.
Okay. Well, crap.
Let's see here. All right. I'm at normal. Yep. Open game to public. No, I don't want to do that. Raise difficulty. No. All right. There we go.
Yeah, so we're in the party.
How did that suddenly work? Weird.
Well, I went out of game. So we're both out of the game now, or are you in a game?
Should be joining your game.
Okay, so we're going to go to start game. And here's hoping. Aha, there we go. Alright, so let's go over to this Nephilim obelisk and let's open a Nephilim rift. And we'll just run this for a while.
See, I haven't done any of this, dude.
Me either. In a very long time, at least. I have done Nephilim rifts, but it's been a while. Oh yeah. Alright, so anyway, we were doing a recap at some point. Hey, I hit level 2 about as fast as we did in the D&D campaign.
I know, dude, like 2 seconds in, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me turn the volume down on this in a second.
Alright, sounds good. I'll protect you-ish. Let's see, what do I got? I got Fury, and I got Bash.
Oh.
That's
Master Volume way down.
Whole lot of stuff.
Alright, let's see if that works better. Alright, so yeah, so we went through and we figured out the Krench the wrench thing, and I think we kept waiting for Brian to throw something at us, like in that situation. Like we were all very leery of those people.
Yeah.
So, which I don't know if that's going to come, like, you know, if he's just world building to world build, or if like he keeps telling us to like write down the characters that we meet and stuff. And so I do have some concern that if we're not doing enough of that, like, is that going to come back to bite us later?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly doing it, and in fact, I've been kind of being a little overly obsessive about it. Like, I'll go back and rewatch the episode and take additional notes
Right.
of stuff that I just didn't have time to take while we were playing. And
We
I've
should put
actually
those-
put together a pretty decent plan of what I want to do
Right.
in this next campaign. I don't know how much I should talk about it beforehand, because I think it's more fun to, like, you know, do it in game rather than revealing all of what I'm planning on doing.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I didn't want you guys to know that I was going to turn into a freaking bear.
Right.
Like, right. I mean, I think that was like a fun surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise anymore when I turn into a bear. I think it's expected now.
Yeah. Now we just expect a bear all the time. You know.
Yeah, it's like no one wants my little gnomish druid. They're like, why aren't you a bear right now? What are you doing? So, but no, it's a lot of story. I think it was interesting that we ended up being Tor, the tradition of rechecks.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny moment.
Yeah,
But, you know, kind of worthwhile, at least, you know, for me, and for kind of where I'm wanting to go with the story. It kind of works out, so I kind of like it. You know, it's kind of the anti-hero mentality almost a little bit, which
Sure.
a lot of I feel like a lot of D&D campaigns end up in that space, because, you know, you're going to be counter to a lot of the system if you wanna actually be impactful in a society like that. So,
which, you know,
Kinda like
this
it.
being my first real D&D campaign, it's been very interesting. I'm certainly enjoying it. There's no question.
right,
But you know, and I think Brian's, I mean, from what I can tell, is a good DM. You know, so I'm enjoying, like, learning about this place he's put together, and you know, it takes a lot of effort to put those encounters together and the story, and you know, this stuff.
yeah.
And
I
also too-
think his strength is in his prep for sure. I think
Yes.
yeah, and he's doing a very good job from that standpoint. No doubt about it.
Well, and he also did some good stuff to, I felt like were the wrenches we threw him, because, like, you know, like the Adventure Guild thing, like he admitted that he wasn't ready for that, but based on what you did, he made that happen.
Right.
You know, like that like he was like, oh yeah, well there's like in the Adventure Guild. This is what's going on here. It was fine. It worked out good. Or like where I decided that Merrick needed to like sweets. Like I don't even know where I got that idea. It just happened.
Right.
And
right.
he obviously hadn't thought of like having a nice bakery set up. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't. I can't imagine he thought about that. So like that's what I'm finding really interesting about playing D&D is that you know the DM's got to be on their toes as the players come up with things that you aren't necessarily expecting.
Right.
Like I mean, you're like, I'm sure you're like, oh, I can't wait to see how they react to this event that I've created. You know, whatever that event is, right? Whatever the fight is, or like in this event, we have those damn clicking stones, which I'm waiting for us to like have not be able to get the treasure or be screwed because we didn't go back up and click the damn button.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
You know,
but yeah, I think a big part of being a DM is improv. You know, you got to be ready, you got to be on your toes, and he does a good job of that. You know, he doesn't take a ridiculous amount of time to come up with what's going on, but just in general does a nice job of making the story interesting, giving us a little bit of leeway so far, which I think is good, but not too much. You know, he's not letting us get away with murder for sure. You know.
Oh no. No, he's also willing to like listen. Like, I showed him like a thing that said that druids can wear scale mail as long as those scales aren't metal.
Right.
So it's like if we find a dragon or another one of those ankeg things or whatever, that you can make mail out of that, scale mail out of that. So I could technically wear medium armor at that point, which would be interesting. Not saying I'm going to, but just it's a cool thought. You know what I'm saying?
The ancients have blessed me.
Yeah, I'm already level 5. I need to stop and do my achievement here. Have you been doing your stuff?
No,
Sure.
I think usually what I like to do is I like to get through one entire run, and then when we go back to town, we, you know, take a few minutes and.
As I said, I have not run one of these other than to be like power leveled to get to level 70 at one point, but I haven't. Like, I don't know the other than click and kill all the things.
Right. Well, that's kind of the nice thing about Nephilim Rifts is there is no story, there's no nothing. We've just got this little gauge on the side under our map that you just fill it up, the boss pops out, and then you get loot. You know, it's pretty simplistic.
It's kind of like Diablo boiled down to its essence.
Right. To the gameplay without any of the story, which is perfect for talking about D&D stuff because you know we can just kind of turn our brains off and just try not to die while we
kill all the things.
Stuff. Yeah, kill stuff and talk about D&D. So we get into town, we get the the cart to where it needs to go, and we got our registration stuff paid for. We're still waiting on those tokens.
Yeah, waiting on the tokens. We got our clothes, but we got to get our really fancy clothes, which I think worked out well. That was smart of Jeremy to send us off to get the clothes before we left.
Right. It's like, wait a minute, don't these have to be fitted? Like, I would have totally forgotten, figured I could take care of it in a day when I came back, and then we totally wouldn't have had any clothes for this thing. Yeah, so good on him to pick up on that.
Yeah, but we got back into town. We got, we went and, got rested. I cleaned myself up. I'm trying to be more, like, I'm trying to role play it correctly where, like, starting to meet the, my character is supposed to be shy around people.
Right.
But, like, you can't keep adventuring with people and, like, continuing to be shy.
Right. That's not an interesting dynamic character. That's not somebody somebody wants to play with or watch, really,
Exactly.
Right.
So it's a little bit of, like, I'm trying to warm up slowly, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you're trying to grow. You got to also let your character have some development in the story.
Right. Exactly.
And you can do that kind of slow if you're planning on, being around all the time. You could, but I don't know. We're probably gonna do, 10 to 15 sessions max before Goose has probably gotten us through our stuff, and so like there's not a whole lot of time for us to, take 7 episodes before our character learns to talk to people.
Right, exactly. I'm not talking to you still. It's like, okay, that's boring. Like, so, but I do like the idea of being quiet when I first meet people. Like,
sure.
It also allows kind of like listen to the story develop. That was kind of my thought too when I set that character up that way. was that I could be quiet when I wanted to be, you know, because it's still in character to not be talking.
Right.
You know, like I'm gonna quietly sit here in the corner. You know, so yeah, maybe it's a cop out to a degree, but it also works out.
Yeah,
So,
as long as it works within the storyline, you know, that's totally fine.
right, that was my thought.
Here, I'll let you
But-
grab that sash.
Where's the sash?
Over here. Oh, did
I
this
got it.
not pop out for you?
It did. I took it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I haven't equipped.
Oh, okay. We both get stuff. Okay, so there's no reason for me to leave anything on the ground because it's character based, not group based. It's good.
Don't know if it is or not.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you told me that you had gone and picked up the sash and it was still on the ground for me. So,
okay.
So yeah, it's definitely that way. So don't leave anything on the ground. It's dropping either different or the same for each of us, and yeah. If I'm gonna save anything to not pick it up.
So yeah, so we did the got cleaned up and then went out into town. Went to the bar the first time. Didn't really find much. Went to the sweet shop the next day, which is cool. Got our nice clothes. We were smart enough to figure out that we were. And so and that's the kind of stuff I want to ask Brian is like, you know, the lamb place being so nice, you know, was that because we decided to go buy nice clothes or ask that question? Like, would it have been a regular tavern otherwise? Like, did that you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Did we evolve that story in that moment?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good question.
You know, like, had he intended for it to be, you know, whatever it was going to be. It was going to be a restaurant or a bar or whatever. And then all of a sudden we're like, well, do we need to dress up for this place? And he's like, yeah, you should be in nice clothes. And then we get there and he decides that we're not wearing nice enough clothes.
Right.
Or was that already like planned? That's the kind of stuff that I find to be, as I said, I'm curious as a player to understand that side of it.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say it probably was not. I mean, it probably was planned for it to be that way. I just don't see a world where, you know, we go in with Lord Hughes and it's, you know,
we're wearing our adventure clothes.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, Sir
Right.
Hughes is obviously a very
Pomp and
snooty,
circumstance guy,
stuck
yeah.
up, you know, very high class guy. And yeah, obviously, you know, it would be a big deal.
Or at least proposes to be, because he sent us to get a trunk and sent us off to do some thieving.
Well, I think that's probably something. Well, not thieving. Like we were potentially looting a thieves guild. You know, it's like
Right.
It's like it's basically like inheriting something from, you know, a criminal element. Like that's not a bad thing. Like that wouldn't even be frowned upon at all. I don't think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you're wrong. It's just kind of like, but why would he have the letter about it? You know.
Well, it
last
might
couple of days.
have been, you know, some intelligence that he got and kind of, you know, considered it below his pay grade. You know, like I don't want to take care of this, but you know,
These guys can.
yeah, but these guys, you know, it seems like it's something that's right up their alley.
Yeah, it was interesting with Lord Hughes' daughter.
Still recharging.
Right.
You know, at dinner. That was a fun aspect of the story.
Right.
So, but no, the dinner was interesting. Having, you know, again, lots of world building in this particular one. Like, certainly primarily world building.
Right, and this was the first episode that really got me into the story. You know, like I was when I was looking at D&D, and especially as a barbarian, this effect is kind of heightened. Is that I'm all about battling. You know, I'm really interested in the battling and how to grow my character's battling stuff. After, you know, like somewhat during, but mostly after this episode, it really got me into the RP aspect and like, well, what I want my character to do outside of battle, and you know what the future plans would be for me to build my character and my character's legacy. You know,
Right.
and that's interesting. You know, and it makes it it makes me not so focused on, okay, when's the next battle, you know?
Right. Well,
Like
yeah.
it gives me something to do other than want to go out and just find the next fight.
Which I think is important because, D&D battles are interesting, but they're, at some point, just play a video game. Right? Like, if that's what you really want to do, like, that's fine. Just do that, but do it in a video game. Go get Baldur's Gate or whatever and knock yourself out.
Go play Diablo for an hour.
Yeah. You're going to have the same sort of experience. So,
Right.
yeah, the role-playing part is definitely cool. But yeah, no, we were kind of dancing around it. So yeah, we had our meeting with the stuck-up Lord Hughes, and his daughter hit on me, which was weird because I'm a gnome. It was odd, and
it was never completely confirmed she was hitting on you. She might have just found you entertaining to see.
That's what I hope for, because otherwise it's awkward. And because that's where the role playing gets a little strange. You're like, so we're role playing that my character is being hit on by a how old of a child, and we're all in our 30s, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's your character.
Right.
But yeah, a little strange, but
right.
I mean that kind of stuff is an element in D&D. You see a lot of that kind of stuff in like the D&D stuff that I've watched. Especially the long-term stuff. They definitely make that a priority for that to be at least part of it.
Like, you mean characters like falling in love and stuff, or?
Yeah, romance and personal connection overall. They definitely make that part of it, and I think that's a good thing, because you're basically creating a game that's based on how life works. And oh crap, that's too much stuff.
I'm like, he ran away from me.
Oh yeah, I didn't see this guy in the back. Oops. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Stuff's getting real over here.
I know it's getting.
We should probably stop for a second. Wait, before you get all those, let's pull back. Oh, never mind.
I don't know what I just did. Oh god.
That's okay.
This is the bad guy.
Yeah, this is the big baddie.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
That's okay.
We were that close.
That's okay. I think we could still kill him. I was just like, I should probably put some armor on or something.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that, dude.
That's okay. We'll be fine, I think. Maybe. Possibly.
I got faith.
Can I stun it? I can stun it. I need to be doing that. Oof.
I think we're gonna win.
Yeah. Agreed. I got my healing potion back up, so I'm good, I think.
Mine's almost back. There's a globe over there. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I got it. No, I got it. Health returns. Yay! We did it! And there's still stuff attacking us. Go away. Die. Alright. Sweet.
Long ago, I would open rifts.
So let's see, where were we? We're going back to town.
Yes, teleport.
Yeah.
I am returning to town, and I'm going to figure out my character. So I'm going to take 2 seconds to figure that out real fast here. Look at my character.
Sure.
So I have nothing equipped.
Yeah, if I even just had a weapon, that would have been a good start.
Rare gloves. Let's put those on, I guess. Magic gloves. Isn't there a way to, like, min-max your... Like, isn't there, like, an auto put all the best shit on?
I don't know. If you hover over something, it'll tell you if it's an upgrade or not, but... And by how much, but that's Pretty much all I know.
I don't think I want to put a shield on, right? Doesn't that fuck me up as a demon hunter? Isn't that a bad thing?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think you would use something like that, but... Let's see. Extra damage. Okay, now we won't.
I can use a... I can't with my crossbow. I can use a shield. Alright.
Okay, well, that works.
Put on some pants, huh?
No, that's the enchanter.
Such a brave soul.
Okay, that's blood shards. There's gotta be somebody I can just sell stuff to. Somewhere. Somewhere in this place.
Right here. Train, repair, salvage. I want to salvage things right now. Who are you selling this stuff to?
Well, this guy is repair. This is not... I'm gonna buy.
Oh, you can just, when you're talking to somebody, you just go in the inventory, and you can right click on it and sell it.
Oh, just any of them? That wasn't working for me for the other ones, but maybe I wasn't. I must not have been trying hard enough. I'm rich. Got so much gold. But that's just compared to D&D numbers. I actually don't have any clue how much gold I have.
Who the hell's selling?
I grow stronger.
Ooh, nice.
Talk to Tyrael, give me a free experience.
Nice.
Wire.
Yes,
Flush from this dude.
An artifact lies in the ruin. I think you.
Okay, so let's see what the abilities are here.
Okay, here's a merchant over here by the window.
Yeah, I found one over on the... Yeah, over a little bit to the right.
Greetings, Nephilim. I can create a rift so you might test your skill in battle.
So, I don't think there are many actual options at this level. Let's see. There's cleave. I think I'm gonna keep stunning stuff, though.
Alright, I sold all my crap. What do the blood shards do? What's the point of blood shard?
There's a blood shard vendor that allows you to, do some cool stuff. Get some items right over here. Dala.
Hello there.
But, you need at least 25. So we'll have to run more before we can get anything from her.
Okay, so I don't.
Plus, I think we probably want to save those until we're max level anyway, because it's kind of like you get a roll on some gear, basically. So, like,
Okay.
using those at this level is kind of silly. When we're just
Alright,
farming.
skills. Here we go. Hungering arrow, hail.
Your adventures with Leah and Cain. I almost feel like
Rapid fire.
Requires level 70 for greater. So yeah, we're just going to run regular Nephilim riffs. Easy peasy. Oh, cool. Frostbite rune. Nice. It's all coming back to me.
I kind of remember, dude, but like.
Alright, so Mongoose says, FYI, the more I plan stuff out, I think the campaign will be a bit longer in numbers of sessions than I thought it would. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm all for this lasting, you know, a while. You know, I'm having a lot of fun now. I don't see myself being like, I don't want to play this anymore. You know, for for a very long time at the very least. It's the highlight of my week right now. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Absolutely. No, it's a lot of fun, dude. It is not what I expected it to be and not what I expected it to be. Does that make any sense?
I mean, it does make sense, but you would have to elaborate in what way. Oh, nice.
So apparently I have a machine gun.
Yeah. All right, are you ready to go?
Do we need to talk to any of these people? They're like, they all
Nah.
have like.
Nah, we
double
just go in and do the
Okay.
next one, really.
Unleash your power.
All right, I got a bow.
I will enjoy this.
This is interesting. All right, cool. So yeah, so we finished up with the, going around and talking to people. I enjoyed Grendel's interactions with the. I have to get it identified. We have to identify in town, right? No, I can't identify. All right, cool. All right, sorry. Yeah, Grendel's interactions with that guard as we went into town to with his glaive. I thought it was really cool. And then Brian not allowing for swords, like, it's obviously important to the world, but it's kind of weird. The that weapon's allowed. This one isn't. I'm interested to see how that plays out because obviously that's going to be a big deal at some point.
Yeah. Part of me wonders. I think it's probably not. I think his reasoning for it is just because like that he found that to be some sort of like tradition somewhere. When he was on his vacation, he thought, oh, that'd be cool to incorporate in a in a D&D game.
Sure.
I think that's probably why. But I'm finding it interesting how there's something like that in our D&D game. And this is probably just coincidence, but while there's this big debate going on right now in our country about guns, gun control.
Sure.
Again, probably not directly related on purpose, but I don't know. It's I find it to be an interesting coincidence.
It's but things that are on your brain, dude, right? I mean,
right.
Life and art and image, it all kind of at some point there's some relationship between all these things, right?
Right.
So, but no, I think it it's interesting, Grendel not bringing the you can't bring your glaive in here, and the way he interacted with that, and that played out with the with the guard. I thought it was cool.
Right.
Again, just world building, really cool world building. And other than us keeping our stuff out, keeping Brian for whatever reason decided to single Grendel out in that moment, but he obviously didn't know how Grendel was going to react to the whole thing.
Well, and none of the rest of us had anything on us, even though I sort of did, but I think Goose assumed that I left all of my weaponry out, and probably would have played it that way if he had realized. But like I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave the stuff I've used, which is my warhammer and the one javelin, but I still had like 3 more javelins and my hand axe. And
that's funny.
But it's fine. Not like I used them or anything.
When I was overt about it, I was like, I am taking my whatchamacallit with me.
Right.
My dagger and my all my stuff. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I don't know how damaged we're actually being in this game. Right? There's all kinds of bad stuff happening. I'm like, well, am I actually being hurt by this, or is it just a lot of flashy stuff on the screen?
It's a lot of flashy stuff. At this level, you're just kind of rolling through stuff, basically. Which is really, again, it's a good passive game.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, the Grendel thing was cool, and then we're kind of going out of order here as to like what we got got done for the evening. But
oh sure, yeah, we don't have to go in order. It's fine. If people want to know what happened in order, well, the video is available on my YouTube, so go watch it.
Yeah, it should be. It should be fun to watch us fiddle around and me go, wait, I'm new to D&D. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. What just happened?
Well, there's a lot of that going around, like between a lot of us, but me in particular, because I've seen a lot of D&D, but I haven't ever played before, really. So,
I would say I'm definitely the newest of everybody. Is my because you certainly have done a lot more reading than I have. Like I read the player's handbook for this round. I played a few times when I was a kid, like middle school style, like
right.
God only knows what rules the DM I was playing with was actually incorporating or not.
Right.
Or how well they were actually playing, doing it. Certainly haven't played as an adult. So the last time I played was before college. Like it was still in the 90s, for God's sakes.
I need fury.
Right.
So it's been a while.
Been a bit.
Which makes me sad to admit.
Well, that's kind of how it goes.
It happens. It happens.
All right.
Although I will say my mother accused me of having more gray hair than her the other day.
Ah.
Which I was like, that's not good. Like, that's not a great place to be. So, but yeah, so the Grendel thing happened. We got through the guard, good, and then after the guard, we did the dinner. That was cool. I got myself
that was pretty fun.
Yeah, got myself some sweets to eat, which is good. It's like my new thing, always to have sweets. And then we found that chest, and there was that cool sword in it.
Yeah.
Not magic.
But silvered, you know, so it'll probably come into play at some point, maybe not. I don't know.
You would think it would.
At the very least, it makes it look prettier and makes it worth more, which is nice. And you know, that way I have something to work with, even when I can't bring my axe places.
You're not allowed to bring your axe a lot of places.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere except, you know, outside in the wilderness.
Yeah. Oh, big bad guy.
Oh yeah. Let's chunk him down. Yeah.
He was big, but
glass cannon. Total glass cannon there.
Still recharging.
I'm still recharging, apparently.
So yeah, as I said, we found that we got the went to the back gate, got the interesting chest, figured out what we were doing with that, and then from there went to the thieves' hideout and found a magic sword of some kind. There, it's a magic sword, right? It was a magic sword we got there.
Did you cast like detect magic?
I did. We just don't know what it does, and then Jeremy's character took it and was using it, and we're not sure. But you know, Goose was saying that you don't get the effect of the magic if you don't know what it does. Right.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna have to get, I think, identify.
Mm-hmm.
And it of course would have to be one of the spellcasters, but I don't know if that's just a, you know, a kind of thing that's on everybody's, in everybody's slots, or like what the deal is there.
There's a big old chest over here.
Nice.
There's like all kinds of stuff for you over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I would have to look it up. But I'm sure I'm sure Identify is probably one of those spells that a lot of people have, or like a lot of different classes have access to. But
would make sense.
I don't know. I haven't used spellcasting before, so I don't actually know. Should I use two-handed and a shield? I go big two-handed. We're gonna tear some stuff.
I can use the shield if I use a crossbow, apparently.
And this one is a two-handed that does a lot more damage, so let's do that. There, now I got my big glowing sword. It kind of reminds me of my character. Come on.
There you
Go through the door. What the heck? Oh yeah, now he's taking big swings at people. I like it.
Did you go through the door? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I did go through the door.
Why would you leave me? Why?
Well, I had to move on, you know?
I guess. Jesus. Don't worry, I'm here.
Goody.
Whatever I'm doing reminds me of that Ling Ming ability from Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, the disintegrate.
Yeah.
Oh. You could do that in this game too, as it turns out.
Well, yeah. I mean, in theory, right? That's...
Some would say it in the reverse.
Yeah. So yeah, the trap in the Thieves Guild was interesting.
You know what I realized afterwards?
Hmm.
The trap I think the trigger for it to turn on was when we closed the back door. So maybe if we opened it, it would have stopped the trap from doing its thing. Maybe that trap only works when the door's closed.
Very well could have. And like I said, when we went downstairs and we never went back up to do anything with that, I feel like there's going to be consequences for that somehow.
Maybe. Only one way to find out.
Yep.
And then, of course, we'll still have to deal with the two guys that ran into the room. But a lot of our group is very low on health, is the concerning thing. So, I mean, I'm not really But
I'm not either, dude. I'm a fucking bear.
yeah, yell
I mean,
into
even...
the room. I'm gonna send the bear in if you don't come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we're in a bad place. I think it should be pretty intimidating alone that we killed those elementals.
Air elemental things, yeah.
Yeah.
What I think was hilarious is you went and grabbed Jeremy's character and ran him out of the room.
Right, yeah.
You're like, we gotta go. You just see him being like, put me down, put me down.
Oh, hello. Wow, these guys are huge.
What the hell is
They're
that thing?
huge.
And they're dead. These are obnoxious.
Yeah. You don't have any right to be that big.
I'll taste your fear. More
Can't
fury.
even make it through the doorways. You're that big.
So it definitely takes a while in to get through interactions. They're not fast in Diablo, or not Diablo, in D&D.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, they
there's-
can be. I think we're being a little bit overly thorough at times with how we treat situations. You know, I used the term for the sake of brevity a few times.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I'm just pretty much directly quoting Matt Mercer and what he says in a lot of those situations at that point. But
Like,
yeah.
what do you mean specifically? Like,
well, you know, it's like we don't have to RP everything. Like, if we're gonna go out and get, you know, when we were gonna go out and get our clothes, you know, we don't have to RP, you know, walking through the streets. So we don't have to RP, you know, dealing with the merchant. You know, we can just kind of do a summary of the situation and how it happens, you know, and the important bits, and then the rest of it just kind of happens.
makes sense.
I also think that I do think that there are times where we use we use order of operations a little bit too heavily. You know, like we'll go into sometimes we don't even go into initiative order technically because we're not like battling. Like when we were trying to disarm the trap when we first went into the room, like I don't think that has to be kept in necessarily in a direct order until we're battling something, you know.
Okay.
Like I think it's like, okay, I have this idea to go do this, and okay, you have that idea to go do that. In my opinion, I think we can just do those things as, you know, as a group. Even if it's timed, you know, we can still be like, okay, you know, you're gonna have this many seconds. Who's gonna do something, and then everybody can say what they're gonna do. You know, I think we're going into taking turn mode a little bit too often. Like another one that made me think of was in the first campaign when we were first. Yeah, this was before you were even introduced. Is when we were still in that group. And we were approaching the caravan right after it had been robbed. Like we went into a turn mode when we were still half a mile away. You know?
Sure.
So it's like we spent like 6 turns worth of movement as they were shooting, where all we were gonna be doing was running towards the thing. You know, it's like that could have just been okay. Well, you guys are gonna run, and in that distance, they're gonna get this many shots off, and then he, you know, maybe Goose could have just rolled. And by the way, we're done. So let's go on back, and we'll do another one. Yeah. So I mean, there are little things that I think we can do to make it a little bit more efficient, but you know, it's not like it's a huge deal. Let's do Ruthless. That looks good. I still think overall, like, Goose is doing an absolutely amazing job of running the games and the campaign and everything. Like, I'm super happy with how everything's been going. But you know, I mean, that doesn't that doesn't mean he's absolutely perfect always. You know, there are still
Well,
going to
no.
be things that
Yeah.
that everybody can do better.
It's just kind of how that works, dude.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's just life.
Yep. Leap. Nice. I got Sonya's ult.
Nice.
How could you not go leap? Really?
Give me just a second here. I gotta figure out my
Let's see, you got more
my gear
items.
situation.
That can do a little bit more weapon damage, but
Do you have any gems? I got a slotted legendary that I need a gem for.
I haven't gotten any gems yet.
Forge. I don't want to forge nothing. There's no point in forging anything at this point, I don't think. New skill slot. What do we got here? Vault. Okay, cool. Rapid fire. I'm enjoying rapid fire. It's very exciting. Feeling pretty good about all this. Chain gang. Alright, now what do I do?
And now we're off into another rift.
Alright, sweet. So, Nephilim, right?
Yep. In we go.
Are you ready? Then your trial begins.
So one of the things I usually ask people is like, you know, anything in particular you're looking forward to soon, like anything that you've enjoyed about the game that you're wanting to do more of, or any of that kind of stuff.
I've enjoyed, like, the bear stuff has been really fun for me because I feel like I get to roleplay a different way. You
Right.
know? And so I'm excited to get more forms, like changing into a dire wolf and stuff, but I need to get to higher levels, right? Like, it's like anything. You gotta get to a higher level so you
Right.
can do the cooler stuff. So I'm excited to keep playing with that because
I'm healed.
it's kind of fun to think about, like, what would a bear do?
Right.
Like, if I was an intelligent bear, you know, what would I go do? Oh, I'll just rip through the freaking door. Like, the barbarian can't do it. I'm gonna go through the door. So, as that, if you expand that, okay, at level 10 I can turn into elementals and stuff. So, what does it mean to be an air elemental? What does it mean to be a water elemental? Like, what can I do with that? What's, you know what I mean? Like, what's...
Right.
How does that change? How does that change the way that we're gonna play? I'm able to play, like, you know, how I'm able to add to a situation or not. So I'm excited for that because I think that's kind of a cool.
Back to hell.
It's like the anti thing with this kind of game, where, like, at some point you're just you're min-maxing yourself to the absolute, and you're just gonna do the same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And it's fun, and it's really cool to watch all this stuff explode and all the, you know, all the loot drop and everything.
Right.
But the interaction between now and, like, level 70 in this isn't that much different, right? It's still fun, but it's still kind of the same thing, just further on down the line.
Right.
So, so that's what I think is cool, is like that. So I'm looking forward to that. See how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, I mean, I had planned out exactly how I wanted to build my character all the way up to level 20. You know, I had
Oh my
looked
God.
into it. I knew exactly what abilities I wanted to take, and then I discovered the concept of multi-classing, which is
Right.
really pretty cool. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. And even then, you know, like, even when I learned it was a thing I could do, I was still skeptical because I was like, oh, well, you know, Goose is kind of running this campaign a little bit differently. Like, he, you know, didn't want us to take certain, you know, races, and, you know, so I don't know if he's going to want to limit our ability to multi-class, because ultimately that's something that's up to the DM as to whether or not you can even do. And he's like, yeah, no, that's fine. You can multi-class. There's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, it turns out that Krench's ability scores are all so high I can literally multi-class into anything except for wizard.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
So what I'm planning on doing is getting to level 5 as barbarian. So just standard up to that point. Ooh, I'm getting low on health. Ooh.
Where are you?
I'm just jumping away for right now. So I can maybe heal again. Take on like one thing at a time here. Health returns.
Come back to me. Come back to me.
I'm coming. I'm heading that way. There we go. Hi there.
Yeah, they're getting a little tougher.
Yeah, they are. And then level 6, I'm gonna start going into fighter.
Into fire. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a couple of interesting. It's got a couple of interesting upgrades, but really, like once you get past level 5, barbarian stuff, it's just not that great for the next, at least for the next few levels. Some of the stuff later is kind of cool, but it doesn't make a big difference in how you battle. Whereas the stuff I can get from just the first 3 levels of fighter is really, really good. So I'm just gonna take 3 levels of fighter, which first level I get to choose a weapon style. So with two-handed weapon style, I get to take anything I roll as a damage roll. It's a 1 or a 2, and re-roll it.
Sure.
And then at level 2 in fighter, I get action surge. So anytime I take the attack action, I can, well, when I use action surge, I can essentially take a second attack action in that turn. But I can only do that once per short rest. So it's a cool burst, especially with level 5. I'll have extra attack, so I can basically that turn attack 4 times.
Okay. So, which is cool, but how? So, what's the role play for that? Like, how do you become a fighter? There's a goblin over here. A goblin.
Oh, okay.
Goblin.
Ooh, goblin. Where? Oh,
Here.
yeah. I'm back here, goblin. So basically, I've already started to set up my role play for like how I'm leveling up. You might have noticed that lately I've been talking about how. For the first leg of the journey, I was taking a couple hours to kind of like commune with nature. That's because I was taking Totem Warrior,
Right.
so I could get those upgrades. And then the next one I'm doing is like I'm working with my two-handed weapons because I'm going to take Great Weapon Fighter at level 4 as a trait, which is pretty cool. Great Weapon Fighter comes with 2 upgrades. The first of which is that anytime I crit or I knock something to 0 health, that turn I can use my bonus action to attack again.
Okay.
And then the second one is that I can take a -5 to my attack roll, and if I hit, I get 10 more damage on the hit.
Sweet.
And because of my reckless attacks, I can always attack with advantage. So it gives me a better chance to get a high enough roll that I can take a -5, but still hit.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Rolling through fulls then.
Yeah, so I'll be dealing a lot of damage after level 4. And then we're still discussing whether or not we want to do the normal. I don't know if you've been reading what Jeremy put in the Discord today, but
I saw. I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I was reading it in between recovering from working out, so
right.
competing. So
a little out of it.
Yeah, I was like, my brain is not processing this right now.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple overall. You know, when you look at the leveling up process overall, you get to all the upgrades are the same for levels 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19, which is the ability score upgrades. Okay. Normally, under the normal system, you get to choose between 2 options. You either get to take a +2 to your ability score totals. So you can either upgrade one score by 2, like you can take your strength up by 2, or your con, or whatever you want, or you can put you can put one plus 1 into 2 different scores.
Okay.
Or you can take one of the feats off the feats list. So I don't know if you've looked over the feats list, but there are dozens of different feats that you can use. Like Great Weapon Master, the one I'm talking about, that's available as a feat.
Okay.
So if I wanted to, instead of taking that feat, I could put a +2 to my strength and be at 20 strength, which would be capped out, which would be really nice, but I don't think it'll get me as much as Great Weapon Master would. So I'm going to go with that one instead.
Okay.
So under the new system, you can only get a +1 to your ability scores if you take that option instead of 2.
Okay.
But you can still choose the feat, and you also add level 5 and level 9 to that list of levels that you can take feats or ability scores.
Okay.
So it's kind of, Jeremy's, I think, put it best, is it's really good for people that had really good rolls on their ability scores, because it lets you take more feats, but it doesn't let you get your ability scores up as much.
Yeah, so like you and I are fine because we're already so maxed out.
Right. But it's probably not as good for him, even though he wants it, I think, because he wants particular feats.
Sure.
But I mean, basically, if all 4 of us decide on it and Goose says it's okay, that's the only reason we would change to that system. And I haven't heard from Grendel yet on whether or not he wants to do it, so we'll have to decide that as a group. But we have to decide it before we get to level 4, which could be by the end of this next session, maybe.
So there's no feats. We either do it with feats or without feats.
Well, no, you can still choose the feat upgrade when you get your ability scores at 4, 8, 12, and 16. It's just you're choosing between the two. Do you want to upgrade your ability scores, or do you want to get this one feat?
I see.
And it's particularly good for me because I'm wanting to multi-class, because those ability score upgrades are based on your level, for your class levels, not for your player levels. So
Can we even go past 20 anyways? Like, is that even something you can do no matter what?
It's not typically how you do it. You build up to 20, and then at that point it's really up to the DM whether you want to go. I think they call those like legendary levels. Like you level up, but there are like special rules that have been written for what happens when you upgrade further in other classes, like additional ability upgrade scores, or getting more on your normal level up stuff, or but in the book it says that you can only get to player level 20. So like when I'm multi-classing, that means that I cannot get whatever my level 20 upgrade is for my barbarian, because I'm taking levels in other classes.
Right.
But really, like when I look at the overall barbarian list, like 20 is kind of cool, but it's not that game changing really. You get a +4 to strength and constitution, and your maximum for those scores go up to 24. So it'd be really cool to have 24 strength and con, but it's like we're never realistically gonna get there anyway. So it's like, eh. I'd rather take whatever makes me the strongest, like level 10 character, because that's probably all we're gonna ever get to, unless we decide to do like another campaign or another, at least another session of plans with these characters. After
characters. I love my character.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm kind of attached to Krench. I don't know if I would. I like, if there was a vote, I would not be in favor of starting new characters. But then I also feel for somebody like Jeremy, who did not roll very well on his ability scores. And, so he might want to do a new thing.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. Like,
and let's go back to town. we finished the big game.
Depending on what Goose wanted to do, right? I mean, it is like there is the multiverse, right? So you leave, you're like, oh well, my characters are no longer in this place, and now we're in the Forgotten Realm, or wherever the hell we go to.
Grant me strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Jeremy leaves his character behind. He's like, I don't like whatever portal you guys are falling through to make this happen. I don't want to go in that portal.
Right.
And then he does a new character on the other side.
I got a legendary helmet. The Orc's crown, very nice.
I've got a legendary helmet and a legendary belt, but I got a bunch of gems.
Ooh, dang, that rare mace. I'll take that.
Do you want a magic mighty belt?
A what?
Magic mighty belt. It's like 37 armor.
Oh no, I gotta. Yeah, it's not really worth trading. I feel like at this level,
Okay,
like it doesn't make that big a difference.
fine, dude. My stuff's not good for you. I understand. I see how it is.
It's like even if it's like a 30% upgrade, right? Like in 2 levels, it's gonna be replaced anyway.
Right.
I still haven't gotten any boots. Any shoulders? And then there's a stash over here, by the way. This little chest, if you want to store like your gems or anything.
Where? Where is it?
It's a little chest over here. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Do the jewel crafter. I have a socket now in my helm. Let's see.
Yeah, I've got a flawless amethyst. That's the best I've done. What do you got?
Let's see. Oh no, you just put the gem in there, right? That's yeah. Okay, so let's see for helm. Yeah, you don't have to. I forgot. I forgot. You don't have to craft anything.
How do you take the gems out? I forgot.
Experience. There we go. I don't think you take them out. I think you just put in a new one.
Nope. You gotta do the jeweler. Take them out.
Oh right. Over here the jeweler has a
that's...
remove gem function. That's right. Oh, yeah, I could have made... Oh, okay. That would have been another 5 experience, but that's fine, whatever. Whatever. But yeah, I think that's about it for me today. I'm running a little low on gas.
Okay, done?
Yeah. But we went for about an hour, so that was about my goal.
Okay.
Got ourselves up to level 13, and the next time we come and chat for some more D&D Rewind, we'll know where to start from.
For sure. No, this will be good. I'll leave this character off to the side.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me.
Sweet.
And thanks for anybody who came out and watched or is watching the YouTube VOD later. Remember to check out our D&D sessions Tuesday nights, hopefully every Tuesday. So far, we've had a pretty good standing record going. 6 to 10 p.m. EST. And then we'll be doing these Rewind episodes on another night of the week around 8 whenever I can get together with somebody. So keep a lookout for all of those. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday.